Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and a pretty good early season matchup at the quarter pole of the season. Iowa comes in at 2-1, and the Pitt Panthers, maybe a surprise team, off to a fantastic 3-0 start. And here from Pittsburgh, we welcome you to the ACC on ESPN. Then we welcome you into the broadcast booth at Heinz Field. Adam Amin, former Pitt star John Congemi. Let's start with Iowa, 2-1. Tough loss last week to in-state rival Iowa State. But Kirk Ferentz tells us, listen, no reason to panic. This kind of looks like an Iowa team in September.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're very comfortable where they're at right now, and they shouldn't panic because they have a quarterback in Jake Rudock who's intelligent. He's smart with the football, and he can lead this football team on that side. They just need some more chunk yardage plays in this offense. Now, on the defensive side, they come in ranked 6th in the country in run defense. They haven't allowed a rushing touchdown. That should bode well today because they're going to face one of the best runners in the country they'll see all year.
And maybe one of the ones you haven't really heard of just yet. He's really busted out these first 3 games. That's James Conner, the sophomore.
He's fun to watch because he's big, he's strong, he's athletic, and he gets a ton of yards after first contact. When he gets to the second level, an arm tackle by a linebacker or an arm tackle by a corner, he's going to shrug off and continue to find ways to get into the end zone. He leads the country with 8 touchdowns on the ground. He has numerous Pitt records that he's closing in on as a sophomore. So watch this team today run the football. They're going to have to win the battle at the line of scrimmage and at the point of attack, but Connor's going to have to carry this team on the ground on his shoulders.
Already has broken Tony Dorsett's record for most yards rushing by a Pitt player in his first 3 games of a season, 544 for Conner. For the 4th time in 4 games, Iowa won the toss and elected to receive. So the Hawkeyes will get the ball first to start the day. Chris Blewett will kick off for the Pitt Panthers, the sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. And off we go from Pittsburgh. And out to the 25-yard line will come the Iowa Hawkeyes. The first time since 1948 that each of their first 3 games were decided by 1 possession. Trying to get this offense going, trying to find its identity with a very good quarterback in Jake Rudock.
Well, they got the right guy to do it in number 15. I said he's extremely intelligent. He's mentally tough. He's accurate with the football, and he understands what defenses are trying to do to him. So they have the right guy pulling the trigger at quarterback for the Hawkeyes, and I'm extremely proud to be here today because I was able to coach him as a young quarterback at St. Thomas Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale.
So if he has any issues, you know who to blame.
You blame me, that's right.
Rudock starts under center. He's got Jordan Canzeri in the backfield. And on the first play of the game, it'll be Canzeri trying to hustle his way forward for a couple of yards into a pile. Iowa's first 3 games, as we mentioned, decided by 1 possession. A win over Northern Iowa, a comeback win late against Ball State, and then a very tough loss last week to rival Iowa State. On the road for the first time this year, Jake Rudock led this team to 4 road wins last season, the most since Ricky Stanzi in 2009.
The problem with this offense, Adam, is they've had injuries at the running back spot. We saw Canzeri come into the game with an injury. He didn't look good after that first carry.
Now it's Mark Weissman back into the game, the leading rusher for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who powers his way to the 31 into the waiting arms of the redshirt senior Todd Thomas. It'll bring up 3rd down. The Hawkeyes have been very good on 3rd down this year, 49%. Pittsburgh's defense is 2nd in the country on 3rd down right now. They've allowed just 8 conversions on 39 attempts defensively. Rudock trying to keep this drive alive.
To win today, this is where Iowa needs to be successful. On 3rd down, they have to continue that hot streak in this situation.
Damon Bullock is the back out of the gun. Rudock firing to the sideline, and he'll pick up the first down to Cavante Martin Manley, Iowa's leading receiver. And let's check in with the 3rd member of our team, Nikki Noto. Hello, Nikki.
Well, guys, Coach Ferentz, he told me that the bottom line is we're a 2-1 team right now. And this time of year, you are what your record says you are. However, he did say that we have yet to play our best football, and we know that. And after that tough loss last week against Iowa State, senior captain Quentin Alston, well, he told me that it stung. He knows that we can't get that one back. He said it gave us all a fire in our hearts this week. We went into practice on Tuesday with an extra kick and an extra motive. And today, the Hawkeyes, well, they're focused on getting back to just playing that physical Iowa football, guys.
And that means trying to run the ball, Nikki, trying to find their identity in this offense. Daryl Render is there to stop Jordan Canzeri after a yard pickup. You got to look at just the second Iowa head coach since 1979, Hayden Fry, and then Kirk Ferentz now in 16 seasons at the helm of the Hawkeyes. Was a Michigan native, born in Michigan, but he went to Upper St. Clair High School here in Pittsburgh, 10 miles southwest of Heinz Field. We'll dive into that story as the day goes on. Rudock taking a shot down the middle of the field, and it is caught by Damon Powell. Incomplete, no. He's unable to hold on, and it's picked off. Here comes Terrace Webb, making Lafayette Pitts to midfield. Webb and Pitts back in coverage, and Lafayette Pitts with his second career interception. There is a penalty marker thrown on the play.
During the return, block in the back, number 15, 10-yard penalty, first down Pitt.
Wild play, and it looked like Powell had possession of it for a moment.
I don't know how this ball wasn't caught initially. It looked like he tried to bring it in. It was right on the money, but he actually passed it to Pitts. This ball should be caught and inside the 10-yard line, maybe score on the play, but the ball goes through the hands of Powell right into the arms of Javonte Pitts. One of the most unusual plays, almost a pitch play out to the defender. That's something that Iowa needs to do, convert on big play opportunities. They haven't been able to do that through 3 games.
And Pittsburgh takes over at its own 27-yard line after the block in the back penalty. And Chad Voitek hands off to James Conner. And here comes Conner, who is now the leading rusher in the country in terms of rushing yardage after that 21-yard pickup. And just like that, Pittsburgh's near midfield.
Terrific block by Matt Rotherham, the right guard. He gets out in front of James Conner. And as you said, we talked about in the open, once he gets to the second level, he's going to use that off arm, and he's going to lower a shoulder on Iowa defenders.
He just passed Aaron Jones of UTEP for the top spot in rushing yards in the country so far this season. James Conner, well, he went about 3 or 4 yards before anybody even touched him, and then got into Iowa territory. It'll set up 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line of the Hawkeyes. So Chad Voitek, the redshirt sophomore, has done a great job so far leading this running offense. He did a nice job with his feet last week against Florida International.
And he hasn't been asked to really win a game with his right arm. He's a confident quarterback. He's confident in what he's doing. He's athletic with good instincts. And he, as you said, Adam, he has that ability to extend plays or design running plays on the edge for him.
And they go back to Conner on first down. If he can break a tackle, he's got space. And he's inside the Hawkeye 30 as John Loudermilk runs him out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Good running is usually the result of great blocking. And on that play, the Panthers were able to seal the edge with great blocking. Dorian Johnson comes around from that left guard spot and throws a great block. And Manessa Garner as well, one of the receivers getting involved. James Conner doesn't need a big crack. He can make it usually on his own,
right.
But so far it's been too easy in the running game for the Panthers.
5 carries for 56 yards already for Conner. Voitek trying to use his feet. He slithers away and turns it into a positive play. Boy, Bo Bauer got into the backfield and nearly got Voitek, who was able to scramble forward and pick up 3. Again, Voitek 114 yards last week against FIU. Taking over as a full-time starter for Tom Savage, great quarterback who got drafted in the 4th round by the Texans. Played extensively in the bowl victory over Bowling Green last year, led him to a comeback win after Savage suffered a rib injury. Voitek played pretty much the entire second half.
Well, you have to win at the bottom of the screen sometimes when you get those one-on-one opportunities.
And Voitek on a designed run that time gets popped out of bounds by Anthony Gare, the safety, right near the first down marker. Gare is making the start, his first career start at safety, because Jordan Lomax is out for the first half. A targeting penalty on a crucial Iowa State drive in the 4th quarter last week. So a start for Anthony Gare at safety today.
We mentioned about the 3 new linebackers for Iowa. They also have 2 new DBs as well as Anthony Gare coming in for Lomax. So this is where they need to bow their backs. The Hawkeyes haven't allowed a rushing touchdown this year, and this is where Pitt wants to run the football in the red zone.
Here's Connor. At about 2 yards, right into the arms of Spearman. Mark him for a yard, and it's 2nd and 9. And this is only the 8th trip by an opposing team into Iowa's red zone this year. Connor will come off, and Chris James, the true freshman, will check into the game in the backfield.
That's where you might want to think about a screen, possibly, with James coming in the game, or winning with J.P. Holtz, the tight end. We haven't mentioned his name, but he should be a factor because you're going to get man coverage here. So Tyler Boyd singled up on the outside.
Look at the speed of James right up the middle of the field into the end zone for a Pittsburgh touchdown. And right into the arms of James Connor. First rushing touchdown allowed by Iowa this year.
I'm sure James would say, hey, thanks for softening up this defense. James, I really appreciate it, because Chris did a great job of showing his speed up the middle of the football field. He rolls over the belly of the Iowa defender into the end zone.
Chris Blewett on for the extra point. High snap, handled well by Ryan Winslow, and Blewett gets it in. Chris James missed a key block in a blitz against FIU last week, had some issues, comes in, makes an impact.
He really does. Lightning in a bottle. Chris James comes off the bench and puts the Panthers on the board.
One of the most stout rushing attacks in the country isn't just about James Conner. It's about Chris James and Isaac Bennett and Rashid Ibrahim, this great quartet of backs that can all do some kind of damage, and Connor did a lot of it, and James got Pittsburgh in front, and the Hawkeyes allow their first rushing touchdown of the season. Pitt on top. Jonathan Parker to return a Chris Blewett kick. Parker better grab it and let it bound out of the back of the end zone. Out to the 25-yard line. Third rushing touchdown of the season already for the freshman Chris James. Jake Rudock and the Hawkeyes from the 25. Weissman's the deep back and gets the carry. And he finds space along the edge and is across the 30. Pickup of 7 yards. So Iowa trying to find its identity on offense, trying to figure out its running game, trying to get healthy as well. But they've got playmakers on the outside. They want to get those guys a little bit more involved. They want to get this guy, Weissman, involved a little bit more.
Well, they do. They want to be more consistent running the football. I think that's the problem. You know, they take points off the board with the drop pass that turns into an interception. You don't get those opportunities that many times during a game.
There's Weissman. Vinipal wrapped him up, but right at the line to gain at the 35-yard line. And that will move the chains, should move the chains, and it will. First down for Iowa. Last week when they played Iowa State, Matt House, the defensive coordinator of Pitt, watched tape, talked to us about it, and said, you know, there were 2 or 3 runs they really could have busted open if they had just made one cut or one block.
They could have creased them. I think that's exactly what he said. They could have creased them a couple of times, but the Iowa backs didn't see the hole. And in a potential 40-yard play for a touchdown ended up to be a 4-yard gain. That stymies an offense.
John Kenny is the fullback. Rudock off play action. Second time he's taken a shot downfield, and on the edge, Matt Vandenberg comes down with it. This time Iowa strikes down to the 21-yard line in front of Lafayette Pitts. A 44-yard pass play, just the 6th play of 20 or more yards this year for the Iowa offense.
That's the way you regain momentum in a football game. You take shots after 2 easy runs. Jake Rudock goes back and says, you know what, I have to give my guys another opportunity down the field. And credit Matt Vandenberg. He climbs the ladder over Pitts for the big play.
Let's see what Iowa goes back to now. Kanziri's in the backfield. And Rudock on a deep drop. Pressure from his backside, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Looking for Jake Doozy, the tight end, who had the game-winning touchdown against Ball State a couple of weeks ago. So we said it, only 6 plays of 20 or more yards, only the 4th pass this year of 20 or more yards.
And it should have been the 5th with the drop for an interception earlier in the game. So Vandenberg comes down with a terrific pass play, and on that last one, the Panthers caught the Hawkeyes with that corner blitz. It may have forced the hand of Jake Rudock. Reggie Mitchell coming off the edge.
Weissman's the deep back in the eye on second down. Go back to him with a block from Kenny, and Weissman dives forward. Picks up about 4 yards as Gonzalez is there for the tackle, and it sets up third down. And a crucial third down here against Pitt's defense.
Almost a statement drive for the Hawkeyes offensively, I think, Adam. You know, you have to answer a score possibly with a score.
Right.
And it's not anything to really feel down about if they just come away with 3 here, but you'd love to stick it in the end zone and answer a touchdown with a touchdown.
Only the 5th time that an opponent has gotten into Pittsburgh's red zone this year. They've allowed 4 touchdowns on 4 trips. Damon Bullock is the back on 3rd and 5. The play clock down to 4. Here's Bullock trying to seek space. He needed the 11-yard line, and he'll be short by a couple. Again, you wonder if these Iowa backs are going to be able to find those seams against this really good front of Pittsburgh. It brings up 4th down, and Rudock still on the field. This goes back to what John was saying. You love to get the touchdown, want to make a statement. They're leaving the offense out there.
This is a pure example of trying to impose your will against the defense. Let's see if they actually run a play or they try to draw the Panthers off sides.
They'll run it. Rudock's going to toss towards the end zone, and a touchdown. Henry Krieger Kobel with the score. And Iowa with an impressive drive. They're an extra point away from tying the game. Gutsy call from Greg Davis, the 3rd-year offensive coordinator who spent so many years with Mac Brown. With all that talent at Texas, taking chances on 4th down, takes one here and gets a touchdown out of it to Krieger Kobel.
Terrific call on 4th down. Little motion going in behind the line of scrimmage. They formation the Panthers defensively.
Mick Ellis adds the extra point. And it's a touchdown for Rudock after he connected with Vandenberg for 44 yards to get him right at the doorstep of the red zone. They go for it on 4th and 2, and it's the 2nd career touchdown for Krieger Kobel.
Krieger Kobel does an excellent job. He's just going to come in motion and then get behind everybody in the secondary. Good play action and a nice block by running back Mark Weissman. He does an excellent job of filling for Rudock at the point of attack, and then nobody in a blue jersey within 5 yards. This Iowa offense, they're a couple plays away.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
From feel like they have a lot of confidence. You know, they're missing a few runs on the reads with the running backs. The wide receivers need to step up and make those plays when they're afforded to them. They're only a couple of plays away, it seems like to me.
Avonte Maddox will take a knee, and Pittsburgh comes out to the 25-yard line. First down for the 25-yard line for the Panthers. And James Conner right back there with the football. And another strong run. 8 yards. Make it 7 yards on that first carry for Conner. 7 carries, 64 yards. And again, he busts through holes. It seems like nobody touches him after 4 or 5 yards.
I love the way he seems to be a glider, but I love the way he continues to keep his balance after first contact.
Second down, back to Conner. Trying to bounce to the outside, makes the cut back inside. And he'll get a couple of yards there to the 34. It's going to be interesting to see how this front of Iowa holds up, or Pittsburgh holds up against Louis Trinca-Passat and Carl Davis. Those 2 outstanding defensive tackles, probably the 2 best defensive tackles that Pittsburgh has seen and may see for some time this year.
That's going to be the matchup to watch in the trenches for the Panthers. They have to win at the point of attack, and Alex Officer, the center, getting his 2nd start of the season.
So through 15 minutes, a score on each side. Pittsburgh 7, Iowa 7, and some pretty impressive big plays already. A couple of runs from Conner setting up Chris James for a score. The long pass to Vandenberg got Iowa at the doorstep of the red zone before Krieger Kobel tied it up. 7-all. Beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on a great September afternoon. Hawkeyes and Panthers combined 5-1 to start their seasons, tied up at 7 apiece through 1 quarter. Look at the stats from the first half. First rushing touchdown allowed this season by the Hawkeyes. James Conner already 66 yards on the ground for the #4 rushing team in the country through its first 3 games. 3rd and 1 for the Panthers, and Conner is the back to try to pick up the first down, and he does. Across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Adam Amin, John Kangemi, and Nicky Noto has more on James Conner.
Well, you guys have been talking a lot about James Conner's 250-pound body, and I actually asked him about it this week, and you know, he quickly gave credit to the Pitt strength program. He said that simply having that first year under his belt and another offseason allowed him to get bigger, faster, and stronger. You know, he also told me that he likes watching the Steelers back Le'Veon Bell, who has a similar stature. He said that he's quick on his feet, he's elusive, and he likes the way he catches the ball. And when Pitt played BC 2 weeks ago, Le'Veon tweeted him and just called him a straight beast, and that's where the relationship began. And you guys know that the Steelers, well, they're next door to the Panthers facility, and it's given James a new friend and a new mentor. He said that all of those factors that I just talked about, well, guys, it's why he's so comfortable in his skin right now, playing the game he loves.
And you know, Nicky, you talk about Conner leaning on Le'Veon Bell. That's something he wants to improve on, catching the football, and he just did it for 9 yards right there.
And I like the call from offensive coordinator Joe Rudock on that first down.
Chris James back in. John called him lightning in a bottle. This time he gets stymied in the backfield, but dives for the first down to the 44 of Iowa. Mike Hardy undercut him and submarined him down. But Chris James already with 3 touchdowns on the season. James Conner's got 8 touchdowns this year. Isaac Bennett's got a score. So there's a lot of guys in this backfield that can hurt you, along with Wojtek. They're going to send Boyd in motion and give him the ball on the jet sweep as he seeks space. Travis Perry on the stop near the 25-yard line. So Boyd is a guy as a sophomore. Wojtek, the quarterback's a sophomore. Conner, their main running back, is a sophomore. This is one of the youngest rosters in the country, 79%, the highest percentage of underclassmen.
Well, you know, the Pittsburgh's very proud of the Golden Triangle at the city where the rivers are and where they meet. This is the triangle for the Panthers.
Yeah.
You have James Conner, Chad Wojtek, and Tyler Boyd. Those 3 players have to be dynamic for the Panthers to win.
Just the second pass in the last 18 snaps for Pitt, and it's Boyd making the catch, getting a lot of that penalty yardage back to the 29-yard line.
Well, I guess if you make an illegal block, you come back with a big catch. That's the way it works for the Panthers today. That was a good executed play, good protection in the pocket for Chad Wojtek, and a nice route by Tyler Boyd on the outside.
And this is a front for Pitt that has to deal with those great defensive tackles in Trinka Passat and Davis. Alex Officer with the ACL injury to Artie Rowell against BC. He's making his 2nd career start. Dorian Johnson is a sophomore to his left. Young offensive line for Pitt with some injuries. 3rd and 8. 6-man pressure on the blitz. Wojtek shuffling and throwing, and it's caught for a first down by Boyd. And he's out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Terrific extension on the play by Chad Wojtek, the quarterback. He's able to buy time, hang in the pocket, slide, and find a window to get the football to Tyler Boyd. He knew he was going to take a shot by Nate Meyer in that pocket, but Boyd keeps the play alive, and Wojtek had the time to find him.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. And look at the effort by Conner. Works his way all the way down to the 2-yard line on a 9-yard pickup.
If you're a defender, this is the last sight you want. 24 was squaring his shoulders, and it's coming right at you. Terrific effort to get inside the 5. Panthers knocking at the door, ball at the 2.
More yak, John. Yards
Yes.
after contact.
Keeps his balance doing it as well.
He leads the country in rushing touchdowns with 8. He's the deep back. Conner just shouldering his way into that hole, and a pile of Iowa defenders are there. He wants a penalty as Reggie Spearman, the sophomore from Chicago, met him chest to chest, and then the rest of that pile pushed him back. So it's a loss of a couple back to the 4.
Winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. If you can catch Conner behind the line of scrimmage, and there's more than one player, and he's looking for a penalty on the play, there's no need to take him to the ground. He's saying, okay, no problem. Maybe I'll get it on 3rd down.
72 yards after contact out of the 96 that he has today. Right back to Connor. Trying to stay on his feet. He can still get a first down to the 1-yard line. And this is going to depend on where some of these line judges decide they're going to spot him. It looks like it's going to be short as Louis Trinca-Passat, right in the thick of that four-man front for the Hawkeyes, made the stop, and it's going to bring up 4th and 1. And let's see what the decision is here from Paul Chryst and Joe Rudock, the offensive coordinator.
I don't think the offense is going anywhere. I think Paul Chryst, the head coach of the Panthers, says we can get a yard, we can get 4 more cracks at this.
The 17th play of the drive could be the last. 4th and 1 to try to take the lead. To Connor. Powering his way forward. It's a first down, but did he get into the end zone? Panthers are saying it should be enough for a touchdown. Looked like it was enough for a first down. And it is not a touchdown, but a fresh set of downs. Getting that yard after contact, James Conner, to give him 4 more chances to take the lead.
Sure determination on 4th down. Connor gets hit right at the line of scrimmage by middle linebacker Quentin Alston, but he's able to turn that big frame and get inside the 1-yard line.
18th play of a very long 9-minute drive. Right back to Connor, and he's got his 9th rushing touchdown of the season, and Pittsburgh's got the lead. Broke the plane right there.
He's able to find a way to get that big frame and turn his shoulders and get himself in position to be able to take a hit and still be able to break a tackle when he needs to. Came off a little bit limping to the sideline, so hopefully he's going to be able to continue in this football game.
Yeah, grimaced a little bit right at the end of that play. You said it, a battering ram who's already run it 17 times. 11 times on that 9+ minute drive. High snap again, handled by Winslow, and Blewett sneaks it in. Nine touchdowns to lead the country for James Conner. 100 yards already. We haven't even played a half here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at the confluence of the Allegheny and Ohio rivers and the Monongahela River as well. And there's the Monongahela Incline, built in 1870. You get some great views at the top of Mount Washington here in the Steel City. Gorgeous day on this Saturday afternoon, and Pittsburgh's got a 14-7 lead on Iowa. You remember this city very fondly, my friend.
I do. A lot of family, a lot of friends right here, born in Youngstown, Ohio. So it's always nice to come back and have a great day of college football with 2 competitive football teams, matching up.
Iowa coming off that tough loss, but Kirk Ferentz, no panic, he says. No reason to panic 3 games into a season by any means. Muffed out of the end zone and then picked up. Powell gets thrown down shy of the 10-yard line. A long field in front of the Hawkeyes here. What does Iowa need to do to try to answer back?
It seemed like a simple coaching point, but I say it every week. Get your first down. When you're backed up inside the 10-yard line, Jake's primary job at the quarterback position is to move the chains once.
Weissman's the deep back. He'll get the carry on first down. Kenny gave him a great block as Vinipal tried to run him out of bounds close to the line to gain. So 9 good yards there for Weissman. And it'll set up 2nd and 1. They have 6 minutes, and Iowa's offense is built to chip away, Greg Davis tells us. So they've got 6 minutes to try to get a score.
Well, it's great they win on first down because now you can run it again on 2nd down, and you feel like you control the line of scrimmage. You get that first down, and now you don't get the field flipped on you on a long 3rd down if you can't convert.
John Kenny again throw a nice block for Weissman, who picks up the first down out to the 22-yard line. John Kenny playing at fullback today for the Iowa Hawkeyes because Macon Pleva did not play against Iowa State. He's been banged up. Adam Cox is out for the season with an ACL injury. So John Kenny, who hadn't played offense since middle school, has to convert to fullback, and he's the third different Iowa fullback this year.
Well, it's an easy conversion when going from linebacker to fullback, because you get a number and you go, I'm going to block this guy.
Block this guy, sure.
Yeah.
You want this guy? I'm going to block that guy for you. Bullock's into the backfield, single back. First down from the 23, and Rudock off play action. Has time, goes to the check down, and Bullock. That's a good decision by Rudock. Out to the 28-yard line goes Bullock. There's Greg Davis, third year as the offensive coordinator, right in the middle there. Disciple of Mack Brown, was with Mack Brown forever, 98 to 2010. Former quarterback at McNeese State. He gave us a great stat, and I mean a great one. So listen, perk up your ears. His last 18 years in college football, his teams are 93-0 when they win both the turnover and explosive play battle. When they don't win both of those, they're 0-20. Right back to Weissman. Works his way to the 30-yard line as Matt Galambos is there for the stop. Think about that nugget right there.
And just to further your point, you equal that out. You have to have explosive plays plus 12 runs or plus 16 passes. And that's the thing, the identity, when you go back to quarterback Jake Rudock and playmakers around him. Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, said we need to make people respect us vertically. That means chunk yardage plays, both in the running game and in the passing game. And he might put that to the side if he can convert here on third down.
3rd and 3 with Bullock in the backfield. Roll in the pocket to Rudock's opposite side with pressure bearing down on him. Takes a hit as he throws incomplete. Lafayette Pitts from the cornerback position came charging in on Rudock to force the errant throw, and it's 4th down.
McLean was back there too on Jake. 3rd down conversion, trying to move the pocket, nowhere to throw the football. It looked like they wanted to use a rub play to the outside, but let's credit the pressure outside the pocket by the Panthers defense.
Boy, Pitts has been involved, huh? He did get beat on that 44-yard pass, but he's got a pick and that pressure right there. Tyler Boyd back to return a great Dylan Kidd punt, and I mean a boomer, sending Boyd to the 21-yard line, and he runs out of bounds behind the 20. Of 50-yard punts, but Pitt gets the ball back because of this pressure right here.
Yeah, great job on 3rd down by the Panthers. They don't lose leverage on the outside, and they force the incompletion.
Yeah, Matty, thanks very much. Maryland, Syracuse, Big Ten ACC, Miami at Nebraska tonight. A big one in Lincoln.
Different style of running back you'll see in Abdullah.
Absolutely.
In Nebraska tonight, as well as Duke Johnson, 2 speedy guys.
Here you got a bruiser with some playmaking ability, and Connor back in the game. He gets the play fake as Wojtek swings it out to Boyd. And there's the speed of Tyler Boyd as he gets jarred out of bounds by Bo Bauer for a first down at the 30-yard line. Trying to get Boyd a little bit more action on offense.
Pitt needs more of that. They need more horizontal stretch. They need to be able to stretch the football not only vertically down the field, but they have to stretch the field sideline to sideline. That gives more room to a guy like James Conner running the football.
Remember what we said? We showed you that stat. Well, a ton of, I think 4/5 of the yards for Conner were right up the middle. So Boyd gets a breather on 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Blitz is on. Wojtek gets rid of it quickly and throws to Jones on the outside. Hammered by Draper, but moved his feet to the 48. 6-yard pickup on 1st down, John.
Now you're looking at the clock. You have plenty of time. You want to try to be able to get some points out of this drive. You just overcome a huge deficit behind the chains. Now you've got it around midfield. You want to be able to get yourself in at least field goal position with this drive.
They rush 6 once again. That blitz gets picked up, and a low throw is snagged by Garner for a first down at the Iowa 41-yard line. You're only about 10 or 12 yards away from field goal range at this point, and you still have 2 timeouts with a minute to play.
You can still have quarterback run. You have 2 timeouts remaining. Clock starting now, ticking down at 54 and going.
4-man twist, and Wojtek gets hit from behind by Drew Ott. Team leader in sacks, has his 3rd. That forces a timeout, and that takes him out of field goal range.
Nice speed rush by Ott, but the last thing you want to do is take a sack in that situation. You might even have been able to run the football in that situation, call a timeout, and have a play or 2 left. But just a good speed rush on the outside clearly beats Bisnawadi as he dips that shoulder just around the edge, and Wojtek had nowhere to go.
A lot of time might come off there, so they're going to have to get into field goal range with a completion. Out of the gun, Wojtek with 4 in the pattern. Throws it out for Bennett. Incomplete forward pass. The clock never actually started until late. Now it ticks down to 15 seconds. That clock got going a little bit late. Ended up being a quick play anyway, and it's 3rd and 17.
I needed that clock guy when we played Penn State at home about 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
Where was that guy for us, right?
I know.
So again, you can get a first down here, and it would stop the clock to move the chains. Or you can go to the sideline if you're in field goal range. Just step out of bounds and stop the clock and get the field goal unit on. Iowa rushes 5. Wojtek gets out of that pressure from Ott. Scrambling away, and he's got an open man on the sideline. It's Weatherspoon at the 15. Hauled it in, stepped out of bounds. And now a chance for a field goal to close the half.
Great instincts. Nice athletic move by Chad Wojtek. He's able to elude the pressure from Drew Ott, who just had the sack of Chad a play ago, or 2 plays ago. And he's able to locate Garner down the field, or Weatherspoon down the field. And now that puts Blewett in position to get points as the Panthers go to the locker room at halftime.
The sophomore from Virginia. The 33-yard attempt to close the first half. Low snap. But the field goal is perfect. This is a traditionally tough stadium, especially for NFL kickers, to kick in, especially in that direction, because you got the water, you got the air, you got wind coming in, and Blewett just nailed it. Pitt will get the ball to start the second half. Panthers off to a great start at home. Paul Christ is with our Nicky Noto.
Coach, let's go through that last drive. We saw a lot of things. We saw back-to-back penalties, an explosive play, a sack, another explosive play, but ultimately you had to settle for a field goal. How do you clean it up in the second half?
Well, I mean, it's, you know, a lot of things happen. That's probably the way they kept playing. And, you know, settling or got points, I mean, you can look at it 2 different ways. You know, certainly we've got a long ways to go, and there's a lot of things that we can do to clean up, but just got to keep playing it, come out, and it's going to be a tough second half, and that's what you expect, and looking forward to our guys responding to that.
Coach, you've held Iowa right now to 10 points. Do you have any concerns right now with your football team heading into the half?
Yeah, I got a lot of concerns, but I'm not going to tell anybody. But it's, you know, we just got to keep playing, and it's like the effort the guys are doing. You know, we can be cleaner on some things. Certainly, you mentioned some, but there's others, and it's going to be a battle all day.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you,
guys.
Nicky, thanks very much. James Conner was a stud in that first half. 100 yards rushing. Now the nation's leading rusher in terms of yardage. He's got a touchdown, and the Pitt Panthers lead by 10. To the studio, Matt Schick, Kevin Carter. Here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A 10-point lead for the Panthers as we go to the second half. The Panthers will get the ball to start half number 2 as well. Adam Amin, John Congemi, if you didn't know, Nicky Noto on the sidelines. James Conner's the real deal. If people didn't realize who he was before, they have to now through 3.5 games of football. Already 644 yards in the season.
9 touchdowns on the year, leads the country in that. He does such a great job of getting yards after contact, which is probably the one thing that stands out for James Conner. He just continues to go forward, and he's going to get an opportunity to continue to keep going forward here in the second half, because anytime the Panthers can get 130 yards passing out of Chad Wojtek, that's going to make the runs of James Conner that much more effective. 17 times he carried the football for the Panthers in the first half for 100 yards. He had a long of 22. He's a bruising back. He's gonna make you tackle him. He's gonna make you square up in between the tackles, make you bring 1, 2, 3 guys to bring him down in the trenches. He was able to move the pile, but what I like best, he uses his offhand to get defenders away from him, so he'll continue in the second level. Doesn't look like he's moving, but he's gliding for yards on the ground.
Starting this drive for the third quarter from the 25-yard line. Right back for rush number 18 for James Conner, and he breaks a tackle and has another big gainer out across the 45 near midfield to the 49-yard line. 24 more yards for number 24. And this is an Iowa rush defense that came into this game 6th in the country in rush defense, 66 yards a game.
Iowa cannot stop James Conner. His vision, he just feels it today. This is one of those days as a running back, as a football player. Give me the football and keep giving me the football, because the guys in white can't stop me today.
Chad Wojtek officially a 24-yard run. And Connor gets a block to get space along the edge. Tyler Boyd threw a block for him before John Loudermilk ran Connor out of bounds just shy of the line to gain. You said Connor's having a great day. Chad Wojtek already has a career high in passing with those 130 yards. He had totaled 400 yards passing in the previous 7 games he had played. It takes the pressure off the line of scrimmage if Wojtek can get 200 yards passing in a game, maybe 150 yards. That's all 24 needs. On 2nd and 7, here's the shiftiness of James, but a great job by Quentin Alston in there to make the stop, diving at him to set up 3rd down. And Alston in a fresh linebacking core. You said it, he's a New Jersey native, originally committed to Dave Wanstead in Pitt. Ended up going to Iowa. It's the first time his grandma and his cousins and his aunt have come to see him play college football. Iowa needs to find a way to turn it up here on 3rd down. Earlier in the game, in the first half, Drew Ott was able to win on the edge and get pressure on Wojtek, who right now is 13 for 15. He's almost 90% throwing. He needs a big conversion right here. Look at Iowa's front line here. Nobody with their hand down for the Hawkeyes, who bring pressure. Wojtek nearly had that one intercepted by Lomax, the junior, who again had that crucial targeting penalty in the 4th quarter against Iowa State last week, who missed the first half. Coming in to start the 2nd half, and Wojtek looks upset after that throw. Incomplete, and it's 4th down.
18 Ryan Winslow is on to Monongahela Panthers.
I think Chad wanted either interference or somebody to come out of their break. It looked like there was a lot of contact on the inside on Tyler Boyd by Desmond King. A lot of contact before the ball got there. So Winslow punts it away. Riley McCarron bails out. And the Pitt punt coverage is able to down it at the 6-yard line. Down by Chris James, the freshman, on a 30-yard perfectly placed punt by the redshirt freshman Ryan Winslow. Iowa needs a drive here. Down by 10, 11.5 to play. Let's see what this offense can do. We talked with Greg Davis, talked with Kirk Ferentz. They said, listen, 2-1 is no reason to panic. We're not on a rough start just yet. Need to stretch the field vertically, and you know what, John? This is a guy who can do it. They're going to start the 2nd half with C.J. Beathard, the sophomore from Tennessee, at quarterback. It looked at the end of the half that Jake Rudock may have tweaked a knee, so now you're going to see C.J. Beathard come in, and his first job, just like it was Jake's in the first half, get that first down to win back field position. They get a steady dose of Weissman here. Gonzalez on the tackle at the 10, picking up 4 yards there. Weissman had a decent first half.
4-yard pickup. 2nd down, 6.
This is an offense that hasn't done a whole lot downfield coming into this game this year. They do have a big 44-yard pass play to Vandenberg today. Beathard seems to have a stronger arm, a lot of people seem to think, at least. Just the 2nd time he's appeared in a game this year. Weissman again, picking up a couple, setting up 3rd down. So Beathard against Ball State, just 2 for 3 for 67 yards, though. Playing in his 7th career game, did appear in the Outback Bowl loss against LSU last season. Out of Battleground Academy in Franklin, Tennessee.
Well, he's going to get an opportunity to try to get his first 3rd down conversion personally here, but more importantly for this offense, they need to stay on the field. That Iowa defense was on the field entirely too much in the first half.
Just 1 for 4 on 3rd down today, and Pittsburgh brings pressure. Beathard unleashes and gets the first down out near the 20-yard line to Gavante Martin Manley, the senior and Iowa's leading receiver, with his 143rd catch in his career. That's top 7 all time in Iowa history.
Credit the offensive line. Terrific recognition. They were able to pick up every blue jersey that was trying to apply pressure in the pocket. CJ stood in there firmly and threw a nice ball outside for the conversion on 3rd down.
5 minutes into the 3rd. Jordan Kanziri is the deep back in the eye. Beathard on a deep drop. Looking downfield with that route developing, and it is caught one-handed by Powell. What a catch inside the 20-yard line. Remember, Powell tried to haul one into the first half and ended up pitching it back to a corner for a pick. That time, the longest play for Iowa this season on a gorgeous one-handed catch of 63 yards.
Beautiful concentration, nice football thrown out in front of Powell, but what a catch. Spectacular catch. This is a team that needs to take more calculated risks down the field, and you may see this later on SportsCenter. Terrific concentration and a great one-handed catch.
Here's Canzeri with Kenny throwing a good block for him. And he picks up a couple of extra yards down to the 11-yard line. Reggie Mitchell on the tackle. Another look at this unbelievable catch by Damon Powell.
Terrific job of being able to secure the football, get it into the red zone, and now more importantly, you have to be able to turn this into points.
Right.
You have to be able to come away with a touchdown here, close this gap to a field goal for Iowa.
Believe it or not, that's not the longest play of Powell's career. He had a 74-yard catch last season. That one for 63 on 2nd and 3. Here's Canzeri, and he gets pounded at the 10-yard line, and this is a crucial 3rd down coming up. Quentin Werginis is able to make the tackle, the true freshman from Pittsburgh. And Iowa absolutely, it feels like, at least it feels like from this vantage point, they need to keep this drive alive and get a touchdown out of it.
Well, they've been able to move the pocket on 3rd down. They've been able to go play action and maybe get one of those tight ends behind the Panthers. But this could be 4-down territory again for Iowa.
They got 3 tight ends in this set with Weissman the back on 3rd and 2. Here comes Weissman with a hole and a touchdown. Iowa right back in it after a fantastic drive. And into the top 10 in Iowa history goes Weissman in touchdowns, his 19th as a Hawkeye.
Just running behind this big offensive line, and why not? You finally get a crease, and you crease them into the end zone. That was a terrific job of capitalizing on a big chunk play that Iowa really hasn't been able to create with any consistency, and now they close the gap to just 3 points.
Remember, they had 5 offensive plays of 20-plus yards all season. They had a 44-yarder in the first half, and how about this incredible SportsCenter top 10 nominee play by Damon Powell to set up the score.
Damon Powell, the one-hander, gets Iowa in position, and then Weissman's able to punch it in. It's a 3-point game.
Matty, thanks so much. Back in Pittsburgh, and C.J. Beathard comes in for the first Iowa drive of the second half and puts together a very impressive run down the field. The long pass of 63 to Powell that he hauled in that you're going to see on SportsCenter tonight, and then the touchdown from Weissman.
The key now in the second half is to keep creating those chunk yardage plays. I believe Iowa came in with only 4 passing plays of 20 yards or better. Today they have 2.
And both of those are over 40. Out to the 25 comes Pitt. They finally convert. Connor tries to throw a block after the play fake. Look at this throw by Wojtek. Look at that catch by Boyd inside the Iowa 40 in front of Greg Maven. Anything Powell can do, Boyd thinks he can do just as well. That one for 39 and a first down in Iowa territory.
And how about the throw from Chad Wojtek on the run? This is a seed down the sideline. Perfect placement of the football. And a great job by Tyler Boyd, not getting his eyes big, knowing that the ball's coming. Just a nonchalant catch that gives the Panthers instant field position.
110 yards on 7 catches for Tyler Boyd, but it's 1st and 15 after the false start penalty. And here's Connor all the way to the sideline, and that was a great job by John Loudermilk, the strong safety, to run Connor down at the edges. Most of his yards, about 3/4, almost 80%, have been inside the tackles.
Terrific job by Loudermilk. He's going to come down. He's right here. He's going to come down and really fill to the outside. He contains, he gains his leverage on the outside, and he gets some help with the cornerback with Maben on the outside. So a terrific job coming inside out by Loudermilk.
Bennett is in on 2nd and long. Deep drop for Wojtek, looking at Boyd to the middle of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Double move that time by Boyd. He faked the fade and then came back to the inside, and Desmond King was right there to help break up the pass. 3rd and 14.
Boy, and I think tomorrow when Chad watches this play, he's going to see his tight end, J.P. Holtz, was open on the corner route, and he tried to get that football to his playmaker, Tyler Boyd.
Couple of times it feels like his eyes go straight to Boyd and nobody else at times.
It's hard not to when you've got a guy that that's that dynamic when he has his hands on the football. But as a quarterback, you have to go through your progression. Let's see if he can convert here on 3rd and long.
And no Boyd on the field on 3rd and 14. 5-man rush, speed out towards the sticks, but it's caught shy by Ronald Jones. Good diving catch, but he's 2 yards shy of the line to gain at the 11. Well within field goal range, and Chris Blewett's going to come out to try to attempt it.
Most people are going to say, hey, nice pitch and catch, but if that ball's located a little bit better, he may walk into the end zone, or at least he gets the first down. So your takeaway on that, yeah, it's good, but you want to be able to locate that football, and that's how you get better with a young quarterback. You demand a little bit more.
So this will be a 29-yard chip shot. He's already hit from 33 today. This to make it a 6-point game. A couple of bad snaps on the day so far. That one decent. But the kick is good. Just slid inside that right upright. Good from 33, good from 29. Pitt comes away with points and a half-dozen-point advantage. So Pittsburgh goes back to work on the kick. It'll be Blewett to kick away as Iowa tries to get back to good offense in this 3rd quarter. Really impressive by what C.J. Beathard did. You got to think he's going to stay out there as quarterback.
Well, you'd like Iowa to get better field position than starting inside their own 10. Let's see what the special teams can do.
And Jonathan Parker is going to get a shot from the 5-yard line. He's got a couple of blocks. He's trying to hop around. He'll get past the 25, but no room really to run. Out to about the 27. Will be the long-haired Tennessee native C.J. Beathard. His dad Casey is a country singer and songwriter. You know that that song "No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem"? That Kenny Chesney song. His dad co-wrote that. He's co-written for a bunch of different country artists. An award-winning country singer and songwriter. His grandfather Bobby, the former general manager in the NFL for the Chiefs, Dolphins, Redskins, and Chargers. He gives to Weissman on 1st down, and he gets popped. Maybe a yard as Anthony Gonzalez, one of those playmakers, one of our impact guys on defense for Pittsburgh, making the stop.
Yeah, also Mosley Smith. I like what he did, number 95 in the middle of that Pitt defense, along with Gonzalez. Gonzalez from the outside and Mosley Smith from the inside. You have to win on early downs if you're either defense today, because that forces the pressure in the passing game. So far, they've been able to create some bigger plays through the air, but there's a lot more pressure on 2nd and 3rd and long than there is in manageable situations.
Quick throw to the outside. This is Damon Powell, and Powell's got the 1st down. Run out of bounds by Avonte Maddox. They get the 1st down and get out to the 41-yard line. Now they can set up. 4 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter, down by 6.
And that's too easy. When you're going to throw a now play to the outside, you've got to be able to close the cushion if you're Maddox, the cornerback from Pitt. You catch the football with some cushion, you're going to see Powell, who's already made a spectacular catch, make some bigger plays.
Now Kanziri is the back. Off play action. Beathard moving the pocket, dumps it off for Doozy. Who's out across the 45-yard line. Talk to me about now plays, John. What do you mean by that?
Well, just a quick screen. It's almost like you can have a run play called, and then if you see cushion, you have the opportunity as a quarterback to blow the run play off and just get the football outside. That's why they call it right now. It's a now play. So you have an option for run or pass. You see that cushion, take the easy pitch and catch.
And it's not a check. It's
just built in.
The receiver is ready for that in case.
Yes.
2nd and 4. Kanziri with Kenny stretching it, throwing a block and a 1st down into Pitt territory at the 45. Thomas runs him out of bounds. Boy, give a lot of credit to John Kenny, the fullback today. Having to step into that role the last couple of weeks, hadn't played offense in quite some time. There's Kenny throwing a good block on the sideline there to spring Kanziri. Almost could have considered that a hold. Gonzalez was getting a little bit roughed up. Krieger Kobel in motion. He had a 1st half touchdown reception. Here's Weissman. A nice job in the middle that time by Shakir Soto. Came right off of a block while he was engaged and was able to make the tackle after the short gain. Let's go down to the sidelines, checking with Nicky Noto.
You guys, well, Rudock, he's engaging with the offense right now, but it's on the sideline and with a headset. He doesn't appear to be limping. And, you know, I was told that this isn't really a big deal because they've been utilizing both quarterbacks. However, I'll really be interested to see if he goes in the remainder of this game.
Yeah, Nicky, after C.J. Beathard has led the touchdown drive, only the second game of the season for Beathard, only the 7th of his Iowa career. Off play action. Waiting for that route deep to develop towards the end zone, and Vandenberg was guarded by Lafayette Pitts. No penalty flag on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long.
There's been some contact down the field on both defenses. They play tough at the point of attack, and it looks like that right arm is on the receiver on the outside on Vandenberg. Ball overthrown, but a lot of contact on both sides today in the secondary.
3rd and 9 for Iowa in Pitt territory.
Remember, Adam, we talked yesterday with defensive coordinator Matt House. He said that I'll bring pressure on 3rd down, or maybe 60% pressure if I don't feel like I can get there in a normal defense. Let's see what happens here with the Panthers.
Keeping it on the ground for Bullock. And Ray Vinipal forces him out of bounds. And it's 4th down. And I'm a little bit surprised by that play call from the Iowa offense, considering how well they moved it in the air.
I'm shocked that they were running a stretch play to the short side of the field after taking a timeout. You've got to be able to trust your quarterback to be able to come up with another chunk yardage play, because this is no layup as you bring the field goal unit on. So not maybe where I would have looked in the playbook on 3rd and long.
Marshall Kane is just 3 for 6. The Iowa kicking game has had issues, and this is a 52-yarder. And Kane, who's got a huge leg, is able to bang it through for a 52-yard field goal. His Iowa long was 44. His high school long at Solon in Iowa was 48. That one from 52 for a guy who needed some confidence, and he bangs it right through.
Like I said, it wasn't a gimme, but he made it a gimme. That's a heck of a kick with a lot of pressure. You can see how excited his teammates are for him, because as you mentioned the struggles, that's a big play in this football game with only 48 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Again, this goes right back into what the people in Iowa City are kind of thinking about. 2-1, but you lose to Iowa State. Kirk Ferentz calling a timeout to try to ice Cole Netton, the Iowa State kicker. Comes back to make the field goal and win. A lot of unrest in Iowa City. That seems to be the trend.
That whole
in Iowa
field goal
City.
thing, though, is a crapshoot.
That's a crapshoot.
You know
50-50.
I think, you know, that's something that you either believe in or you don't. And with a competent head coach in Kirk Ferentz, he knew what his kicker can do, so that's what he did. He played to his strengths.
So Marshall Kane hits a 52-yarder. The record in a college football game at Heinz Field is 54. This is not an easy place to kick. That was impressive. From the 25-yard line, here's Pitt, up by 3. James Conner, tackled by Louis Trinca-Passat, one of those inside guys that's so disruptive. A 3-yard gain. James Conner with 141 yards on the ground today. It'll be 2nd down to start the 4th quarter for Pitt, which just has a 3-point lead, trying to go to 4-0 for the first time since 2000. But this is a tough Iowa team. C.J. Beathard comes in, finds Powell, and the Hawkeyes look much better, John.
They do. They're converting their opportunities, and they're 3 points back with the 4th quarter upon
And on the
us.
field goals, we're sitting at 20-17 Pittsburgh as we get set for the start of the 4th. A look at our Taco Bell game track. James Conner, a big day again. The nation's leading rusher has 141 on the ground. Beathard's been really good since coming in for Iowa on the offensive end.
3 or 4 for Beathard coming in the 2nd half, but it's been all James Conner for the Pitt Panthers. What I've noticed in this 3rd quarter as we move into the 4th quarter, this Iowa defense, especially the front 7, they've been able to control the line of scrimmage a little bit more consistently, and they've done a nice job of preventing Conner from getting those big runs in this 2nd half.
Now you see 3rd and 17. The reason it's 3rd down is because of the penalty at the end of the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh had to run a play with an untimed down. It was a designed quarterback run for Wojtek, which went for virtually nothing. The crowd was upset because they started playing Sweet Caroline, cut them off halfway through. They started booing, and then Pitt came out for that 2nd down play. Now 3rd and 17. 14 for Pitt from its own 18-yard line to start the fourth quarter. Isaac Bennett in the backfield. Tyler Boyd at the top of the screen.
And here comes the pressure.
Blitz on for Iowa. One-on-one downfield, and the pass thrown behind Manessa Garner, incomplete, with Sean Draper on the coverage. And Iowa will get the ball back to start quarter number 4.
Nice call by defensive coordinator Phil Parker for the Hawkeyes. They limit the time in the pocket for Chad Wojtek. That clock in the quarterback's head forced that throw a little bit earlier than he wanted to, and it was not accurate behind the receiver.
Riley McCarron, playing in his first game this season, was out with a shoulder issue, so he's back to return a punt from Ryan Winslow. .42-yard punt. McCarron turns it out across the 45.
I don't know. They got the momentum. Great field position. Maybe a little play action and go over the top. Try to get one of your playmakers, either Smith or Martin Manley, behind the Pitt secondary.
Tavon Smith has been very quiet today. He's at the top of the screen. They'll go to Weissman on the play fake. Beathard setting up. And it was Smith who got tripped up, and penalty markers are thrown as Reggie Mitchell knew it. He was going to get called for that penalty immediately as he got tangled up with Tavon Smith.
Pass interference. Defense number 15. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So fresh set of downs for the Hawkeyes.
Not sure if Smith would have been able to catch up to this pass, but you've got to be able to get away from the contact. It was close enough that it draws a penalty.
Yeah. Again, the uncatchable ball. Is that too long for Smith? But if you make contact like that, it's an easy call to make on the penalty. The offense has just looked a little bit more in sync, a little bit sharper with Beathard at the controls for Iowa. Kenny trying to throw a block. He took some punishment from Reggie Mitchell to try to loosen it up for Weissman, who got tackled by Thomas and Galambos. They'll set up second down. Adam Amin, John Kajemi, Nicky Noto in Pittsburgh. Two teams off to a solid start at the quarter pole of the season. A young 3-0 Pittsburgh team trying to get to 4-0 for the first time since 2000. A more experienced 2-1 Iowa team looking to bounce back from that tough loss from Iowa State before Big Ten play starts. 2nd and 9 Iowa at the Pittsburgh 23-yard line. Off play action. Beathard saw the pressure, so he got rid of it very quickly, finding John Kenny, the fullback, for his first career catch. Todd Thomas on the tackle inside the 20, and it's 3rd down again. A more manageable 3rd down situation coming up for Iowa.
Very conservative and very predictable from Iowa. They do not want to risk getting a sack here. Ball out quick, be able to control the tempo on offense. Now if they can convert here, now they're thinking 6 points. Now they're thinking let's get into the end zone. But I would be very surprised if you see C.J. Beathard hold on to this football for very long. The last thing he wants to do is take a sack in this situation.
Another safety blitz. This time it's picked up, and a strike thrown to Jacob Hillier, trying to power forward for the first down, and it's going to be very close as Avonte Maddox was holding on for dear life.
I think he's going to be just shy of the first down.
And John, the line judge from the near side of the field is lined up at the 15, which is like literally 3/4 of a yard shy. I mean, this is just shy of the 14, the line to gain, and they got the ball just past the 15.
Great effort on the outside by Hillier to drag Maddox close to the first down.
It's going to be 4th and inches for Iowa with 10:41 to go in the 4th.
They were able to convert in this situation early in the football game, but now the stakes much higher.
Panthers load the box for a Beathard quarterback sneak, and he should have enough for the first down. Good job up front, pushing the pile by Welsh and Blythe and Walsh. We haven't even talked about Brandon Scherf today, the outstanding left tackle for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who Mel Kiper has as a top 6 NFL prospect, maybe the best run blocker in the draft class coming up. This guy was playing with a knee injury, got his knee scoped last week, and still played against Iowa State. He's their leader on the front line.
It's amazing what that line will do, and especially on that left side. They do a good job of moving the pile. That time they did it on 4th down.
A give straight up the middle, and inside the 10 goes Weissman. Quentin Wirginis on the stop. About 5 yards on the play. Weissman has had a productive day, plus a touchdown for the Hawkeyes. 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter, and Iowa primed to take the lead inside the Pittsburgh 10 at the 8. They can still get a first down at the 3. Back to Weissman, makes one cut, powers his way towards the 5-yard line where Ray Vinipal met him. It's those types of cuts that coaching staffs have told us on tape when they watch Iowa. They haven't made those smart enough cuts yet. That time Weissman gets a couple of extra yards on a cut.
In a wise cut on 2nd down, back to the inside by the veteran back. You needed to have that happen. He needed to push the pile and get a positive play to make this an easier conversion on 3rd down.
Another short yardage situation. The Pittsburgh defense trying to make a stop. Iowa trying to keep it alive, maybe score. Weissman, second effort, extending that ball into a dangerous spot, and let's see where they spot this football. Boy, Weissman kind of stuck his right arm out with a lot of traffic around. That's a dangerous play. And based on this spot, it looks short, according to our unofficial yellow line. So another 4th down and inside a yard to go.
Another great effort by Weissman. He's going to extend this football, but I'm not so sure if his knee hits down. Let's take a look where he's landing. That's a great effort by Weissman. He lunged forward to get another 4th and short opportunity. Quarterback sneak last time in this situation.
They'll run it. Weissman trying to hold on to that ball as he dives to get the first down. 3rd 4th down conversion of the day for the Iowa Hawkeyes, the 2nd on this drive. And now they've got 4 shots to take the advantage to the end zone.
Weissman has been terrific in this 2nd half, especially in short yardage situations. Watch him leave and elevate and get over the line of scrimmage, over the traffic, to get a 1st and goal opportunity for Iowa.
C.J. Beathard has been the quarterback the entire 2nd half for Iowa. They've looked a little bit crisper on offense. This, the 12th play of a drive. Weissman got the handoff and powered his way in for an Iowa touchdown and the first Hawkeye lead of the day. This guy has grinded out yards today, John.
Hawkeyes just feeling it, Adam, in the 2nd half,
yeah,
both offensively and defensively. Terrific block at the point of attack. Brandon Sheriff does an excellent job of moving the pile. He had some help. I mean, this offensive line has done a great job. That's 3 drives under C.J. Beathard. You get a touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown just in this half alone. So they've done a nice job of moving the football here in the 2nd half. And Weissman's been the key component to that.
68 yards on the ground. He's got both touchdowns, 2nd efforts, 4th down conversions on that drive. A couple for Iowa, including one from Weissman. Junior, make that senior from Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Just like Kirk Ferentz and Greg Davis said, this is a team built to chip away.
That's the way they want to play harder. They want to play better, more efficiently at the point of attack. Iowa's been able to do that in the 2nd half.
Booming kick will send Pittsburgh out to its own 25-yard line. 25 seconds and no timeouts, and Pitt needs explosive plays now, and they need a touchdown. They got to go 75 yards to win this game in 25 seconds behind a career-high day from Chad Wojtek. 219 yards through the air.
Well, you've got to be able to push the football longer than 10 yards down the field. You've only got 25 seconds left. You have to be able to stop the clock at least to get to the line of scrimmage and then spike the football because no timeouts remaining on the Pitt sideline.
They've got playmakers. Boyd, Gardner's been very good. Weatherspoon's been a top target today as well. Iowa rushes just 3. Wojtek downfield. Boyd makes the catch, gets to the outside and out of bounds near the 36. Only 6 seconds came off the clock there. You can afford to do that once or twice.
You can do that. I think you can do it 2 more times.
Two more times,
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. If Iowa gives the Pitt offense the sideline, especially the near sideline, it's a quicker play. You take it. As long as it's 10 yards or longer, you're in good shape.
You saw Phil Parker, the Iowa defensive coordinator, telling his team to back up a little bit. 1st and 10, 8 back in coverage once again. Time for Wojtek on a back foot throw to the middle of the field. Caught by Boyd for a 1st down. The clock will stop to reset the chains, and they've got to spike the football.
Have to get up and spike the football. You might have 2 plays remaining.
They stop it with 10. Clock moves down to 9 seconds. Tyler Boyd, a big day, 10 catches for 153.
Adam, what you want to do here, if you're Tyler Boyd or you're Chad Wojtek, you want to be able to get the football and get out of bounds if you can, because you want to get, even if you get 10 yards, at least you guarantee getting the football in the end zone with your last play.
You'd want to make it an easier play for Wojtek on a Hail Mary situation. Just a 3-man rush again. Wojtek pumps to the sideline, throws middle of the field. Iowa's going to win it. It's picked off by Anthony Gare, who made his first career start today. The sophomore from Texas will deliver Pitt's first loss of the season.
Iowa came out and made more plays in that second half, took over the momentum, took over the explosive plays, and that's why they're going to 3-1 on the season.
And Pitt will drop to 3-1. Great efforts from James Conner, Wojtek, and Boyd, but it comes up short as another sophomore, Gare, closes out this game.
The ball just sailed over the head of the would-be receiver on the outside. It looked like it was intended for Boyd to try to make a play on it, but much too high to climb the ladder. And let's credit this Iowa team. They took control of the line of scrimmage, and they took control of momentum in the second half. And while we're at it, they executed. They finally got back to running the football and executing on offense.
Jake Rudock led this team to 4 road wins last year. C.J. Beathard comes in for the second half, and the sophomore leads them to a comeback road victory on the road against Pittsburgh. What an effort by Iowa today. Hawkeye fans have had their hearts racing each of the first 4 games of the year, all decided by 1 possession. Both teams are 3-1. For John Kajemi, our fantastic crew, Nikki Noto on the sidelines, Adam Amin saying so long from Pittsburgh to the studio. Matt Schiff, take it away, boys.